The fifth verse, whether from our family or friends, from our society or education, all seeds are by nature both individual and collective. Here we have another pair of opposites, individual and collective, and we should be able to transcend that idea of collective and individual. In the manifestation, in the manifested world, we discern that the things that are collective and the things that are individual. The sun in the sky is thought to be something collective, and we equally share the sun. And the backyard of my house is thought to be individual. I am the only person who enjoy the backyard of my house. So one is individual and one is collective. But if we look more deeply, we see that what we call collective is not entirely collective. The same sun, yes, but we live in different countries. We live in different states. We got different kind of weather. So there is the individual in the collective, and there is the collective in the individual. The constitution, the law, describe it as something collective. Everybody can enjoy the same constitution, the same set of law. But there are people who know how to profit, and there are those who don't know how to profit and to protect themselves. So the collective and the individual, they interact. Let us talk about the bus, a bus where 50 people sit. The bus is something collective. And to 50 people. And I have my own body, which is individual. And as I continue to look at other people, I can see their body, their eyes, their face, their clothes, everything. So even if that person wear a pair of glasses that belong to him, but if I can already see that pair of glasses, so the pair of glass, although belonging to him, but also I can see, I can perceive it. And that person is not me, but because of the fact that I can see him, I can see her, I share, I also share, I can also share his presence. So what that person thinks to be an individual thing, it has the collective nature in it. And there are things I don't see, like the nervous system of the driver. the physiological constitution of the driver, his optic nerves. I cannot see it. The driver's optic nerves seems to be something strictly individual. But since he is my driver, the quality of his optic nerves can determine my safety or not. So the optic nerves of the driver has something to do with me. Therefore, it is not strictly individual. It is also collective in some extent. So when we look deeply at anything around me or inside me, we can discover whether one thing is more collective or more individual. Nothing is absolutely collective and nothing is completely individual. Suppose there is a candle, and the candle, when lit, begin to offer zone of light. Here the light is brighter. Here it is less bright, and here is more, is lesser. And suppose here we have another candle, and when we light the candle, it will offer its light like this. Of course, this is brighter than here, and brighter than here, and brighter than here. So the light emitted from this candle, it light this candle, it shine on this candle, it allow people to see the candle well. But it also shine on the other candle and help the other candle to be seen more clearly. The other candle has already its own light. But now, when we analyze this zone, for instance, we can see the light here is a collective light coming from this candle and coming from this candle. And if we compare this zone with this zone, there is already a difference. So the degree of collectivity, individuality is different in each inch of space. The fact is that the collective contains the individual contains the collective, and if we continue to look, there is no absolute collectivity, there is no absolute individuality. Our idea of collectivity and individuality are just ideas. Let us consider our brain, the brain inside our skull. Is it individual or collective? The way you think, the way you judge, the way you evaluate, the way you like, the way you hate. Look deeply into the nature of your liking, of your hating, of your ideas, of your appreciation, of your anger. And you see that everything has the collective nature in it, and everything has also the individual nature in it. Look at the stock market, the rise and fall of the stock market. What is the elements that determine the rise and fall of these things? The collective and the individual. The collective is made of the individual and the individual is made of the collective. The Buddha said, this is because that is so simple and yet so deep. You may like to ask this question. Is my alaya different from yours? There is an alaya for everyone, collective alaya vijnana for everyone, or there is a separate alaya for each person? It's very natural that you ask that question. We have said that there are pairs of opposites, and when you see a pair of opposites manifesting, try always to look in the nature of interbeing. This, the other, is another pair of opposites, self and non-self. You and I, father and son. We have had the opportunity to look into the nature of interbeing of father and son. If the son can go back to himself, touch himself deeply, looking deeply into himself, he will find that he is the continuation of his father. And even if he has suffered so much because of his father. He has hated his father. He has made a declaration that he doesn't want to have anything to do with his father. He'll find out that he is the continuation of his father. He cannot take his father out of himself. How could he? He is the continuation of his father. He is his father. So the wish not to have anything to do with the father is just an illusion. Because you are the continuation of your father. You are your father. There is one thing in you to be handled. That kind of anger, that kind of hatred that is born from your ignorance, from your delusion. Father and son is a pair of opposites. And if we look deeply into the nature of both father and son, we discover the nature of interbeing. Self and non-self is another pair of opposites. We used to say that the self is made of non-self elements, and that statement may be very helpful, so that we could have a chance to look deeply, touching deeply the self. We will find that the self is made of nothing except non-self elements. Another idea, inside and outside. You might like to ask, where is our store consciousness? Is it inside the body or outside the body? We have seen that each cell in our body possesses all the characteristics, all the elements, all the experiences, all the joy, all the suffering of many generations of ancestors with one cell. only of our body, we can make a replica of ourselves. And it is possible to say that alaya vijnana, our soul consciousness, can be touched within each cell of our body. All the genes, the genes in us, we can describe them as seeds, as bijas, properties. They are the properties that can be recognized, can be touched. The talents, the happiness, the suffering of all our ancestors can be recognized within each cell of our body. So it is possible for us to say that stored consciousness can be found in each cell of our body. But we know also that the inside is made of the outside. When we touch our body, we recognize the element of water, the element of heat, the element of air, the element of earth in us. And we know that these four elements, they are outside of our body. That if we continue to touch deeply, we realize that the sun is my second heart. My first heart seems to be inside of my body, and I know if my first heart stopped to function, I will die right away. But the sun is my second heart. It's shining on the sky. If the sun stops, I also die right away. So the sun, my heart, is the title of a book of mine. I have a heart outside of my body. Maybe my body is larger than this. My body is the whole cosmos. The other night, I said the piece of bread we eat is the body of the cosmos. And each of us is also the body of the cosmos. We are not limited to our body. And when we die, we don't die if we know that our body is not us. We are more than this body. So alaya is, where is alaya? We can say that alaya is in each cell of our body, and we can say also that alaya is outside of our body. The idea of outside and inside is also a pair of opposites to be transcended. We are sitting here in a lotus position or half lotus position. We are confident that the direction, this direction is the direction of the above, and this is the direction of the below. But other people who practice sitting meditation on the other side of the planet, they could not agree. They couldn't say that this is the above, this is the below. So the ideas of below and above cannot be applied to the cosmos, because below and above is also another pair of opposites. It would be very helpful if we train ourselves to look in that way. The above contains the below. The below contains the above. The inside can be touched in the outside. The outside can be touched in the inside. We are caught in ideas. And that is why it's difficult for us to touch the ultimate reality.